سبز گنبد والے منظور دعا کرنا جب وقت نزا آئے آقا دیدار عطا کرنا اے نور خدا کے آنکھوں میں سما جانا اے نور خدا کے آنکھوں میں سما جانا یاد پہ بلا لینا یا خواب میں آ جانا یاد پہ بلا لینا یا خواب میں آ جانا اے پردہ نشین دل کے پردوں میں رہا کرنا جب وقت نزا آئے آقا دیدار عطا کرنا میں قبر اندھیری میں گھبراؤں گا جب تنہا میں قبر اندھیری میں گھبراؤں گا جب تنہا امداد میری کرنے آ جانا رسول اللہ امداد میری کرنے آ جانا رسول اللہ روشن میری تربت کو اے نور خدا کرنا جب وقت نزا آئے آقا دیدار عطا کرنا مجرم ہوں جہاں بر کا محشر میں بھرم رکھنا مجرم ہوں جہاں بر کا محشر میں بھرم رکھنا رسوائے زمانہ ہوں دوزخ سے بچا لینا
سبحان اللہ بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم السلام علیکم Pakistan. I'm Ahmed Nawaz joined by my co-anchor Naila Shuja. We welcome you to our Sahur transmission once again on Pakistan's only English channel PTV World. You just heard a beautiful naat that was of course recited by Abdullah Aruq Abbasi Sahab. Assalamu alaikum, Ramzan Mubarak. Thank you very much, mashallah. Beautiful verses as well. Naila, how are you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely amazing. I hope you guys are doing amazing at home. I hope you guys have your suhoor ready. I am anticipating. I really want to have a paratha for some reason.
Well, that's good. I think one should always keep up with traditions as well.
Yes.
It's not just about health. sometimes it's about traditions, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's about traditions. I think in our family, at least, we always make parathe and we have chai and we have some, egg. I think that's the
Absolutely.
traditional nashta for a typical Pakistani
Absolutely,
family.
and I think those traditions will continue. But we talk about Ramadan. Ramadan, of course, has been divided into what we call the three ashray. So the three ashras have obviously three different significance, and you've got three different duas of it as well. And the first ashra, of course, we are in right now, and of course, we have this dua that you'll be looking forward to as well. But it's very beautiful. I think once you read it and the translation as well, it's very simple. Rabbighfir warham wa anta khairur rahimin. And what does it mean and what is it? Let's take a listen to this dua and then we come back.
First 10 days of Ramadan are to seek mercy.
O Lord, forgive and have mercy, and you are the best of merciful.
So there you have it. Oh Lord, forgive me because you are the most merciful and the most forgiving. So as simple as that, the first one for forgiveness. And I think definitely it means a lot as well. But we're going to be talking about many more aspects of Ramadan and the importance and significance of it and many more things. We're very honored to be joined by somebody who happens to be a religious scholar, obviously, and we're bringing this insight as well, I think, on daily basis. So we're very honored to be joined by Mr. Adil, who happens to be a religious scholar. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Welcome to our transmission here on PTV World.
Walaikum salam. Thank you for inviting me in your program.
We're very happy that you're here and thank you so much for joining us. I know that it is suhoor time, but we have to get, to the understanding of what the essence of Ramadan is and why fasting is so important and why fasting is not just affiliated with Ramzan. It is actually a key aspect in our religion, that is Islam.
Actually, when it comes to Ramadan, most of our people think that fasting is associated with this month only. But whenever we go to understand in depth, we see that Islam does not limit fasting to Ramadan only. In fact, fasting is promoted throughout the year on different occasions. Let me mention some of those. First of all, we have 6 days of Shawwal. The Prophet ﷺ said that anyone who happens to fast during these 6 days, uh, these 6 fasts will be taken into consideration in the court of Allah Almighty as he has fasted for entire year. Imagine just 6 extra days and you get the reward of whole year of fasting. Amazing, isn't it? And the second one is on the 9th and 10th of Muharram. We have a narration in Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim that when Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam migrated from Makkah to Medina, and he saw that Jews are fasting on the day which I just mentioned, 9th and 10th of Muharram. And they came to know that Jews used to consider it as the day of atonement because Musa والسلام, and Bani Israel, they got safety against Pharaoh and his armies. So this was considered as the day of atonement or day of safety. So Prophet ﷺ at that time advised his companions and his disciples to fast that day as well. And he ordered them, he gave them commandment that one fast should be observed before this day or after this day, so there can be a difference between Muslims and Jews. So this is the second fast which is mentioned by our scholarship. There are many other fasts as well. We can see that the third is the Sunnah fast. Most of our people know that our Prophet ﷺ used to fast every Monday and every Thursday. And he said that these are the days when our deeds are presented before Allah Almighty. And Prophet ﷺ said that he prefers to be in a state of fasting when that happens. So this is the beautiful way to stay connected to Allah Almighty, even outside of Ramadan. Uh, on another occasion, we see that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given us the fast of the white days, Ayyam-e Baz. We can translate it into Urdu. In Arabic, the same word is used, Ayyamul Baz. So these are 30th, 40th, and 50th of every Islamic month. These days are called white days because moon happens to be in full form during these their nights. So on first occasion, we see that there is a fast of Arafah. It comes on the 9th Dhul Hajj. This is one of the most blessed days of the year. If anyone is not performing Hajj, but he is fasting on this day, so his fast will be taken into consideration of Allah Almighty in the way that it will wipe away all of his sins of the past years and the coming years as well. So imagine that just one day of fasting can bring such a great reward. So
Absolutely.
this
The
is very
rewards are pretty
fascinating.
much, Dr. Saab, but when we understand this holy month as well, one thing that we're looking forward to is attaining not only righteousness, but leading an exemplary life from here on afterwards as well. In Ramadan, everything comes to a balance, and we see that Muslims are now devoting themselves to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala the way they should. But as soon as this month is over, this month reminds us that this is how we should continue the year onward and our life onward as well. So how can we make sure that that balance continues even after Ramadan?
Actually, Ramadan does not connect us to Allah Almighty for a limited time. It is actually a way of training. It is a way of purification. So, whenever we see Ramadan for our personal growth or personal purification, we see that Ramadan teaches us the most important thing, which is called ihtisab in Arabic or Urdu. Ihtisab, accountability. We should see our character. We should look into the positive aspects of our personality, negative aspects of our personality. As Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man sama Ramadan imanan wa ihtisaban ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min zambihi." Every person who happens to observe fast during the month of Ramadan, and after that he performs accountability of his character, his performance, his deeds, his spirituality, his worldly affairs, the reward of this act will be that Allah Almighty will forgive all his sins of past and all his sins which are unintentionally done. So Ramzan teaches us accountability. We should not be good. We should not be connected to Allah Almighty during this month only. It teaches us to be connected with Allah Almighty all the years, all the days. So this is the first thing. The second thing is that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if anyone observes fast, but he does not leave bad words, bad acts, he does not leave negative elements of his life, so there will be no use of his being hungry, being thirsty. Allah Almighty does not need your thirst. Allah Almighty does not need your hunger. What He wants you to do, we see in Quran Majid, Allah Almighty says, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, kutiba alaykumus siyam, kama kutiba alal lazina min qablikum, la'allakum tattaqun. The purpose of Ramadan, the purpose of observing fast is to make people pious, is to improve their character, is to purify their spirit. So this is the main and important and prime purpose behind the whole of this spiritual system, which is connected to Ramadan. I think if it is not arising in our society, in our people, there will be no use of being hunger, being thirsty, bearing all these hurdles and problems. This is the most important thing.
Absolutely. Now, Dr. Shah, there is an element where we basically have observed that some of the most significant events in Islamic history have taken place during the month of Ramadan. So was this an indication from Allah Ta'ala to the Muslims, or was it simply a coincidence?
Actually, this is very amazing aspect of Ramadan. Whenever we try to study the history, we see some most significant events in the Islamic history happened during this sacred month. For example, first revelation of Quran was sent down to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the cave of Hira, and this event alone makes Ramadan one of the most sacred month in Islam. This is the first point. And we see that the battle of Badr took place in Ramadan. It happened to be the turning point for the Muslim community. I would say newborn Muslim community at Medina. So the Quran even calls this battle like the day of Furqan, meaning the day when truth was separated from the falsehood. This also happened in Ramadan. Then we see that the conquest of Makkah also took place in this month. We all know that the Muslims peacefully entered Makkah, and instead of taking revenge on their former persecutors, the Prophet ﷺ forgave them. So this is not a simple incident. It teaches us lot of positive things. So another historical event which took place in this month, it was the conquest of Spain. This happened to mark the beginning of great civilization that lasted for centuries and became a beacon of knowledge and culture. Then we see that the Salahuddin Ayyubi, which was the great ruler in the history of Islam, he got victory in the Battle of Hattin. So that also happened in the month of Ramadan. He defeated the Crusaders at the Battle of Hattin, and he was one of those people who paved the way for the liberation of Palestine. Another important event, which is the defeat of Mongols at Ainul Jalut. We see that in the year 658, I think it was the 658. The Muslim army under the Sultan Qutuz defeated the Mongol at Ainul Jalut. They saved the Muslim world from the destruction. Now, the question is, was this divine planning or just a coincidence? Well, we need to think why did these major events happen in Ramadan? Uh, I feel uh, there are two things to think about seriously. The first one is Ramadan is the month of intense faith, discipline, and focus. When people are engaged in fasting and praying, their spiritual energy is at its peak. This could explain why Muslims were able to achieve great victories as their faith and reliance on Allah Almighty was stronger than ever. And number two is these events show that Ramadan is not just a personal about personal spirituality. It is a month of action, transformation, and change. So the Quran was revealed in this month. Battles were won, and the empires were shaped. Perhaps this is a divine message rather than is a time to strive and struggle and achieve great things. It is not just a matter of worship. Some people can say that these historical incident was were just coincidences. But when we see such a consistent pattern of monumental victories and divine blessing in the same month, it is harder to believe that this was, mere chance or it was a coincidence. One who is having firm belief in Allah Almighty, he cannot say that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think very rightly put by Dr. Adil Shah as well. And Dr. Saab, thank you very much for joining us and enlightening us with this ample amounts of knowledge that you've given us as well. Thank you very much for being part of our transmission. So you heard Dr. Adil Shah as well, and I think, of course, more than a mere coincidence, it's just the importance, what we call the fazilat of Ramadan Mubarak, and I think that's what it is. Of course, it's time now for a short break, but before we do that, we would request Mr. Abbasi for another naat, and Abdullah will take us on another naat, please.
कोई गुल बाकी रहेगा ना चमन रह जाएगा پر رسول اللہ کا دین حسن رہ جائے گا. جو پڑھے گا صاحب لولاک کے اوپر درود, جو پڑھے گا صاحب لولاک کے اوپر درود, آگ سے محفوظ اس کا تن بدن رہ جائے گا. آگ سے محفوظ اس کا تن بدن رہ جائے گا. پر رسول اللہ کا دین حسن رہ جائے گا. نام شاہان جہاں مٹ جائیں گے, لیکن یہاں نام شاہان جہاں مٹ جائیں گے, لیکن یہاں حشر تک نام.
رمضان پاکستان اللہ کا احسان ہے. رمضان.
Welcome back to our Ramzan transmission. Pakistan, of course, we're into our Suhoor transmission, and we've discussed many things related to Ramadan and the significance and the events in Islamic history and otherwise as well that have been very, very particular as Ramadan is concerned. And now we move on to something very particular, and that is, of course, the field when you talk about homeopathy or homeopathic doctors as well. And we've been joined by one. Dr. Banaras Khan joins us. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Sir, Ramadan Mubarak. Welcome to the transmission.
Same to you, and I am thankful that I am here to present something about.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful, wonderful. So starting off, what exactly is homeopathy?
Yeah, this is a very basic question, and I think one should know about it. You know, this system of therapeutics was discovered about 2.5 centuries ago in Germany.
Okay.
There was a German doctor, his name was Hahnemann. He discovered this very unique kind of treatment. What is based is individual treatment. In homeopathy, it is the individual who is being treated and cured. It is not generalization. I mean, your addict may be different than her, and her addict may be different than mine, and like that. So we focus the whole person. Secondly, the medicines which are prepared, they are diluted in such a way that they become in dynamic form. In homeopathy, it is believed that disease is not something material being. It is on a dynamic level, so the remedy, the medicine, which should coordinate with it, should also be in a dynamic level.
Absolutely.
And thirdly, a very unique point about it is that our medicines, the homeopathic medicines, are tested, what we call this process as proving. They are tested upon healthy individuals, not upon animals or insects.
Okay,
Yes.
very interesting. So, okay, given the fact that it is Ramzan, Dr. Banaras, I want to know, there are so many ailments that are prevalent because either we overeat or we're not having enough water. So given the elements of bloating and not, being on our best health, what are some things and what are some tips and tricks that you might be able to provide us with?
Yeah, before I come to the tips, I would say that it is very interesting and some, I would say, unlucky that this month of Ramadan is not represented as the month of diseases. People should get diseases and people should get sick in this month, while it is the opposite. See, I call it annual cleaning of this human body.
Cleansing, yes.
So it is almost 12 hours fasting, nothing goes in. You can take an example of this hall. When sweeper in the morning, when it cleans, there is a board outside, nobody can get in because the process of cleaning is being carried out. Same happens in our body. So almost about 12 hours of fasting, when nothing gets in, the body has a time, opportunity to look inside where are some garbage. So that should be being cleaned in. But actually in our life what happens? It's just opposite. People at the time of iftar keep on eating and eating until the last mouthful.
Yes.
So nothing remains empty below this.
Absolutely.
And then we get different kind of, as you said, bloating and acidity and gastritis. You can say some people have got diarrheas and
People have a lot of
constipation.
headaches as well.
And headache as well. Yes,
Lethargy,
that's
yeah.
all because of we do not keep in nature. Nature does not ask us to eat and keep on eating in this. So what happens is that so we see so much rush in the clinics during Ramadan. Mostly our digestive system is being affected. And it is all because of these bad habits of eating. We violate the nature, and when we violate the nature, we call for the trouble. And now what you said, the second part of your question is that what are the tips? The main, I would tell you just 3 words about the health. Just you should remember. One is positive thinking. Second is balanced diet. And third is healthy lifestyle. Nothing more than that. You may never see a doctor in your life.
Dr. Banaras, you make it sound so easy, but it's so difficult at the iftari table. All the samosa, all the chicken patties, oh my God.
Yeah, in the evening, you see this food street full of garbage, I would say. All the instant foods and cold drinks and, as you said, pakoda and samosa. So everything gets in.
Iftari staples.
Especially iftari. So one should be giving more opportunity to eat vegetables,
fruits,
simple water, and just a moderate amount of tea, and that's more than enough. This animal diet and this instant food, this causes most of the trouble.
And Doctor, water is something that you need to hydrate yourselves. I don't know why people think that if they will not, have juice or what we call sharbat and everything, then they won't complete their iftar. On the other hand, you just need a simple water. That's it.
You are right. This is very misunderstood. I shall quote Hakim Saeed. Allah yarhamu. He once said that if people are supplied with pure water only, half of the hospitals will shut down. Half of the doctors will become jobless. Just see how important it is to just drink a pure water.
Absolutely. Excellent. Now, given the fact that, during Ramzan, as you mentioned, that there are iftaris that we attend outside the house, and sometimes it's not that hygienic. What are some homeopathic remedies that you might want to suggest to those who are fond of going out and having that sort of experience? Because I'm sure there is someone watching who is probably going to have an iftar outside today.
Yeah, we have a lot of remedies, lot of medicine for such kind of ailments. especially the digestive troubles. In fact, I may name so many, but actually reality is that every person may need a different medicine. It depends upon the man itself. As we said that essence of homeopathy is individualization. And I would say that essence of allopathy is generalization. So we take a person as a unique entity. And there are so many medicines like pulsatilla, nux vomica, carbovegi, lycopodium, china, and like that. But all it depends upon every remedy has a special picture of it.
Yeah, one size does
which
not
which
fit
fits
all.
to the patient, and then the cure comes. This is
Very interesting.
yeah.
Very interesting.
That's very important. I think once you, and we often say that, you know, in Pakistan, unfortunately, Dr. Saab, you would agree, the problem is that if you have taken a certain medicine and it has helped you, you will tell me, and without thinking, I will also take that medicine. So we have stacks and stacks of medicines in our house without reason.
You are right. One should not, that's why we do not speak about the name of the medicines here, because if somebody is listening, he will go to the market, to a
And
store
buy
and take it. This is a
And I think the most consumed is you know, a painkiller. So whenever
Yes.
something is wrong, you will take a painkiller. Simple as that. And without realizing what effects it can have on your body.
That's right. Actually, what happens, your disease is suppressed. And when something is suppressed in the body, with the function of time, it is complicated, and it appears to be a more harmful disease in future.
So it acts like a spring. You keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and then eventually it bounces back.
back. And
more
That's
dangerously,
this,
yes.
yeah.
That's
Oof.
it's like a cat. There is a cat inside the room. You just keep it following, but there is no exit to it. When she does not find the exit, it may attack towards you. This is the same as medicine. Medicines are also homeopathy gives a safe outlet to the disease through our excretion system. May it be our skin, perspiration, our stool and urine outlets. So all the toxins are being
Removed from the body.
removed by the medicine and the natural way of the body. You know, body has the natural healing system. Let it work independently.
Absolutely.
Mind, body, and
Absolutely.
soul.
And I think Dr. Saab's right. Don't let the cat go crazy. You know, let the cat out. But thank you very much, Dr. Banaras Saab,
Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
us.
Thank you so much.
And I think it was a very informative session as well, and I'm sure that it was for you as well. And like we promise you every day, that we'll keep on bringing you some very interesting facts about not only health, your nutrition, the way forward to Ramadan, and of course the spiritual guidance that is needed as well. And at the same
Absolutely.
time, I think it's very important for you, the viewers, to engage us as well. So you can write to us on our social media platforms that are on Instagram, Facebook, and of course on YouTube by the name of PTV World. You can
Yes.
join us there, and you can ask anything you want to. If you'd like something to be asked in the program, you'd like to add something, if you think you know, there is something that needs a better understanding as far as religion is concerned, so we'll bring you those religious scholars as well. For
Absolutely.
me, Naila, and I think from our entire team, it's goodbye for now, but with the wish that you have a great Sahur, and we see you tomorrow same time once again.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Allah Hafiz.
I love this.
Ramzan Pakistan